Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Please subscribe with your notifications on and I'll be posting daily Teen Wolf content. Channels like Jade's Corner and Teen Wolf News inspired me to make content, and I've been a Teen Wolf fan from the very start. Now let's get right into the video. Peter Hale's Revenge, Death and Resurrection. Hey everyone, I got the idea to make this video when I was doing the recap of Teen Wolf Season 1. Hope you all enjoy it. How it began. Derek meets Kate Argent and they began dating, and she tricked him into telling her information about the Hale family. 1 week before the Hale house fire, Adrian Harris, Mr. Harris, meets Kate Argent at a bar and they have a couple drinks, and Kate starts asking him chemistry-related questions like how you could melt away a lock on a bank vault, and how you could dissolve a body and get away with murder, and how you can start a fire and get away with arson. After this exchange, Kate gathered Reddick and Unger and the video store clerk to burn the Hale house down. 1 week later, Derek and Cora Hale are at school and 11 family members are inside of the Hale house when it was set on fire, and the majority of them died, including Talia Hale. Peter Hale was also in the Hale house at the time, and he watched his family get burned to death. Even the ones that were perfectly human, and his mind and personality were literally burnt out of him, according to Peter. Harris didn't say anything to the police because he thought he would be labeled as an accomplice and it would end his teaching career. The coma. After the fire, Peter was comatose and he was in the same hospital as Meredith. Meredith could hear his thoughts for weeks, months. Peter said he predicted this, and he told Talia that this would happen, referencing the fire. He told Talia that the Argents would come for them and burn him to the ground. He said that he'll start over, and like a vengeful god he'll raise this earth to the ground and eliminate all supernatural creatures. Becoming an alpha. Peter was slowly healing and coming back when it got closer to the full moon. Peter drew the Hale Pact spiral for vendetta and revenge on Adair, and Laura Hale, his niece, saw an article about it like Peter and his nurse planned, and this brought her back to Beacon Hills, and Peter killed her to become an alpha so he would be strong enough to take on the Argents. Shortly after this, Peter saw Scott in the woods and bit him to make him a werewolf. Because being in a pack would make him stronger, and Scott refused to be a part of the pack even when he called him out against his will. Derek also joined the pack temporarily. Perpetrator's connection to the fire. Garrison Myers was an insurance investigator and he was terminated under suspicion of fraud, presumably due to the Hale house fire cover-up. The video store clerk Levesque has a history of arson. Reddick and Unger also has a history of arson. The revenge begins. Peter attacks and nearly kills Garrison Myers on the school bus, and he's transported to the hospital where he apologizes to Derek before succumbing to his injuries. The video store clerk died off screen, but he was discovered with his throat slashed in one of the aisles in the video store by Jackson. Reddick was snatched by the Alpha when he was out in the woods with Unger, and he died a quick death off screen. Unger begged for his life while Peter grabbed him by his leg and dropped him in a barrel of fire, and he was burned badly like he did to the Hales. Peter tried to kill Harris because he told Kate how to start a fire and get away with it, and he did not say anything at all, even though the Hale house burned down literally a week after his conversation with Kate. Derek got into the classroom right on time to save him. Peter finally caught up to Kate and ripped her throat out with his claws after making her apologize for decimating his family and leaving him burnt and broken for 6 years. Peter's death. After killing Kate, Peter wanted to kill Allison, and prior to this, Scott told Derek that Peter lied about not knowing what he was doing when he killed Laura. He wanted revenge. Peter was severely burnt again in the Season 1 finale, then Derek killed him to gain the alpha status. Resurrection. Prior to Peter's encounter with Kate, he bit Lydia as a failsafe plan to be resurrected if he was killed. It's not known how he knew that she is a Banshee. Maybe he knew her grandmother Lorraine and assumed that Lydia would become a Banshee. Everyone is connected in the Teen Wolf universe. I mean, the bus driver that was responsible for covering up the Hale house fire drove the bus Scott rode to school when he was younger, so Peter knowing Lorraine is a major possibility. Peter was able to control Lydia and instruct her how to bring him back completely against her will. He did this by making her hallucinate and see the process of how to bring him back, and she eventually weakened Derek with wolfsbane and dragged him to the Hale house so Peter could stick his claws into him and use his alpha spark to be resurrected. End. Thank you all for watching.